activity, the high turnout, and some informal reports. Of course, only INEC can declare election results. But in any election, you will see public indications of the mood of people. Sometimes these are in video reports, sometimes these are in people indicating what happened in their own polling units. To say this is what this is, there have been pictures published of actual EC1 form, I think it's called, showing the results signed by the parties. Many of those indicate to me a pattern that in Lagos, the concentration of power may well be under challenge.
What can... Okay, I mean, we've all gone to bed thinking that it's a done deal. And I'm one of them. I'm one of those who think that, oh, come on. Knowing these people, that's the way it's going to go. But so what kind of wake-up call, free advice would you give them?
Well, it's a mistake to take any level or any segment of the electorate for granted. Democracy is a game of numbers. And in the past, I think that many people who exercise political power have assumed that the middle classes, the professional and social elite, that these are people who would not participate. And indeed, many of them, like those who have fled the country for elections, disdain the electoral process and look down on the democratic system. But increasingly, and this election seems to demonstrate, that many people, especially the youth amongst that segment, who are a very high percentage of the voting public, I think it's something like 60%, that they are energized, they're activated, and they intend to make their voices heard. It's a huge mistake not to acknowledge them. From the start, it was a mistake for any campaign not to acknowledge women and youth. These were the two most significant demographics for electoral outcomes. And indeed, if you look at the story of somebody who had her head broken, this was a woman who defied the intimidation of a mob.
Yes.
We take the power, the sophistication, and the determination of women for granted at our own peril, and the youth as well. A new generation seems determined to take control of the future of Nigeria.
Well, there have also been reports of intimidation in Lagos, intimidating the market women. And I told the APC for free that what you do actually is to build up a well of rebellion against you. You can force a horse to the stream, but you can't force him to drink water. And that is manifesting. And like you rightly said, the voter is now very discerning. It's no longer about follow one party, as it were. But it's early days yet, though. Early days.
But it's exciting times. It's good for us to watch.
Worrying, too, because some of the issues we raised last night here with Sheriff and Ufoma and the other guy, we heard, for example, electoral officers saying blatantly, we got reports of that I'm not going to upload. Or I have been told not to upload the results. And so you're wondering, who could have told? Why would he say, I have been told not to upload? Or something, I won't upload. Such that this morning is almost becoming an anticlimax. The thing is so damn slow. I wonder.
They will upload. I mean, I don't know what any individual is acting upon, what instructions, what fears,
and from who,
what inducements, and from who. It's difficult to say. So it's difficult to attribute it to any particular candidate. But of course, that is a matter that must be dealt with by the administrative procedures of INEC itself. And if crimes are committed, a greater effort must be made to punish electoral crimes.
That is one thing we just haven't seen done over the years.
Yes.
Okay, so we make so much noise. Some people grab ballot papers, the compromises on the part of whatever. At the very most, is relieved of his office and so on and so forth. But we haven't seen actual prosecution.
Yes.
And I think INEC had better do that.
Yes. It's not regarded as a priority because it seems that after elections, people will blink and move on to something else.
Yes.
Across the board, criminal activity is something that people can commit in this environment with impunity because the consequences and repercussions which should follow swiftly for criminal behavior are at best deferred indefinitely. You can have a case which takes 12 years. If you have a prosecution that can be made, it should be made when it starts, 6 weeks. There's no reason why any prosecution should take more than 6 weeks, because you don't start a prosecution unless you have all your cards lined up. Yes. But then if you file a prosecution as part of political theater to entertain yourself, to satisfy political motives, then you don't even have the basic preparation. So basic incompetence in the assembling of a legal case is one of the greatest threats to the effectiveness of the system of public prosecution.
If you saw me blink just for a minute, flash of Natasha, that senator who has this problem with
in Kogi State.
Kogi State, she came on and she distracted anybody anyway.
Really?
Oh, yes, she would.
Okay, I'll have to take a look.
No, she's gone.
Oh, well, okay. All right.
Oh, okay, we're going to open up our lines as usual, and the normal rules will just apply. I think by now we all know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. 0700 993 993 014657190. Now, please, under the electoral law, you can't announce results. That function goes, and by 12, I think by 12 noon, the situation room would open.
Yes.
And that will begin the countdown to see if you can get some kind of result at the end of the exercise. Hopefully by about 1 a.m. they'll be done. By about 1 a.m. they'll be done. There are lessons, Yemi. There are lessons.
Of course.
The determination. And that woman that was bleeding from the head and cast her vote is my hero for this election. Stood her ground. All the men had gone. But he met her.
Yes. Men tend to lose their testosterone very often in the face of danger.
She stood her ground and she insisted and she was still bleeding when she went to cast that vote.
Yes.
And some people have volunteered to take care of her anyway, so that's it.
I think you've heard the story of the Ashanti women's revolt against the British in the 19th century. The British resident insisted that he should sit on the golden stool of the Ashanti Hini, which even the Ashanti Hini does not sit on when it's crowned. And this Englishman came and said, "Where is the golden stool of the Ashanti Hini, and why am I not sitting on it?" And the men, were shocked and horrified, and I guess they went to look for the golden stool. But the Queen Mother, the Ye Ashanti Hini, said that if there are no men in Ashanti, we will show them that they are women. And they besieged the British for 3 weeks. They had to be relieved by troops. Basically, they fought. So if nature abhors a vacuum, if men who like to put their chest out, that they're tough and in charge, can't meet the situation. A lot of my aunties are stronger than most men I know.
Oh, yes. I remember way back many, many years ago when armed robbers came. My wife then still had the presence of mind to try and conceal some money that I didn't even know that she had. What the best happened was a gun to my head. Anyway, so going forward, how do we handle the results of the second? It's going to be very, very.
Well, in any election, somebody will win and somebody will lose. You have to manage disappointment. And the first of the system, the first English dragon is the most important person. Of course, people say it's duty. So that's made the important losing and it's the duty. Because it's right, it's fair. It depends what. On this, is if the link to this community from the town and there isn't maybe to general and some general legal some suggestion maybe not be clear. Yes.
Everyone who wins it
comes. That's that's correct. So the doctrine and the fact that one where the village rule used to be include power that they affect themselves and that's what I'm saying. So I think these people are actually there's already people that within the can the right reasons some or is some advocacy. This is activity. Thanks to the more policy. But I say for present unite to aspire this present. They fail I think this first task should unite to knowledge to those means not case. I think I this fight page I could if can tell but I'm sure but even if I'm advantage in the society to try. So no in our king America and the back them and sometimes they enter the player in front of the publishers. But I think good food block books to the city I want the hope of the children.
What should do now? What is the current now looking to Africa? What do you think the action
that people can swing to recognize for the political elections. So if election is the opening one for you and now you're the game, you should take it out because you should probably go making the right bets. You must be tabled. Not expecting them to the politics part. Power also show up. You can't buy like regular power. I can show or if I see you have to be the numbers in the
I think my interest I think we'll be in for to leave as well. The things I do is by first by saying that I live so I couldn't know that you. You want to
I don't see it as well.
do it for. Hello, man. Hello, man. Morning, sir.
Good morning. You know, people, they just use time for help. And you know,
How do I say this?
they deliver a drop of time. But labor, I don't do it. When I start him, we see that five people should take over the meal. He's in the apple. You know, then people in I put the step of the
Thanks to whoever we have a relative, you know, talk to work.
You know, night has a tremendous role and a lot of value. Such young people, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm also impressed with the knowledge, the understanding, and the courage, the job in the effect that the future country. So, as far as look, it's, you know, it's a simple that sort of gathering orders to our customers. Just being made a living activity of high talent service for food. I mean, it's themselves would draw their country doesn't work well, but have analog individuals. So, 80, you know, 80 single heads on the throats of Jerry Alexander.
Well, some people who are actually,
Oh, they're hanging
this time we
and even if he, high vote. So if studies the shelf, you started last, calculation, was not boats, and the own rest, but military interest, after them culture, telling they can't stick. They say, I want the other ability environment, one story prevent try, one of them die, is Britain and F should with my country here as well as even the guns. And I think the parties to the AP, seen, vivid, and should hand over from farm members, long time, so they replace them if some die.
Got to okay. Talk to we come to, so.
I have to be calling and say, please, when is it? Okay, how many? So when they go, since I have to go to a job, but I've been monitoring up and down the situation. They are there. Guys. you call it and say, please, when is it? Okay, how many? So when they told me, since I have to go to a job, but I've been doing monitoring of the situation.
All right. We're talking about age here. I better things that I'll make it 150. Okay, so we're back. I have Yemi Candide-Johnson, SAN here, and we just talk. The truth is that we have a problem saying the things on our mind because you can't refer to even some of the results that you have seen. But from the results we have seen, it doesn't show any pattern that gives you an indication of where this might go, does it?
I have my own
Not
impression.
Not where you'd want it to go, but where it might go.
I have my own impression of where the result will land. I think that, as I said earlier on, I think change has come. You know, we've unleashed forces which have been hitherto inert. I think that some part of the status quo will prevail. I think that some part of it will be disrupted, and that the way we're governed in future is going to change. Not just because of the election outcomes, but because the people who are involved in making those outcomes are not going away.
Wow. Okay, let's take a call. Hello. Hello. Can you please switch off the radio there? I'm getting an
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, let's go quickly.
My name is Dambaba.
Oh, Dambaba, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Uncle Jimi, I'm impressed the way things are going, but I'm not comfortable with what is happening in Lagos. It's now election violence is now a routine in Lagos, and it is highly unfortunate because if you're hearing about election violence from the northeast, you think it is okay because of the insecurity there. But in Lagos, we have been living peaceful. But at every election, you see some people intimidating, some even tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for. Lagos of all states, where other states look up to, I think we must stop that habit. It's not good for Lagos. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dambaba. Would you want to react to what he said?
Oh, he's right. Election violence must be stamped out.
What about the cleavages that might come out of it, between nationalities and so on and so forth? Does that bother you?
Look, any election is going to be divisive. People are going to organize themselves in various ways. They're going to organize themselves ideologically, according to age, according to gender, according to ethnicity, even religion. We don't wish to promote those divisions, but we cannot deny those divisions exist. The job of politicians, especially a winning politician, is to reconcile all those interests so that people realize that their participation in the whole is more advantageous than them trying to separate from it. That is an obligation. This is why I say again, the president must unite and the president must inspire. This is his first task. He doesn't drive trains, he doesn't build bridges, but he must unite.
He doesn't run marathons.
He doesn't run marathons. He has to unite people and he has to inspire them. He has to convince them of the importance of our union.
Okay, let me pick another call. Hello. Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Lucky Lola from Magboro.
Yes.
That's one name.
Yes, yesterday the security in Lagos in some parts, was nothing to write home about at all.
Despite the fact that we hear that, they deploy soldiers, this and that to Lagos. But yesterday, I must confess, it was a shame. Here in my area, I told you that yesterday that I know people came late. And, the voting process, as at 6 o'clock when I left, they were still voting. And to make the matter worse, the people of Magbo, they didn't conduct themselves in a good manner at all. For like 3 to 4 hours, they were still shouting, just for us to just line up in group. The INEC officer said pregnant women should be on a straight line, elderly people and other people, but we just, rubbish everything. And the policemen that later came, they are not with tear gas, no gun, no form of, like Koboko or, to just, drive people. I'm telling you, because that's what people understand. The people that came, I'm telling you, that's what reset some people's brain. Because they were, arguing with the police officers. The police officers tell them, go and form a straight line, but they won't.
Point.
You understand?
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Can we please just rewind that part, take out that Koboko part, But sometimes you do get frustrated with our people.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think you must whip them into line. And that brings to the fore this argument about whether Nigeria is doing well with the democracy or they need the benevolence, whatever that means, dictatorship. What do you think?
You cannot,
like Rwanda, for example.
You cannot prescribe the mood of a dictator. You take your chances. You said Rwanda. Some say that is a benevolent dictatorship. Well, it's on its face. It's on its face a democracy, but it's an authoritarian regime.
Okay.
But it is survivable because the power of the state is directed to the improvement of the lot of the majority of people.
Exactly.
Which is the function of government. So you can forgive strict behavior if it's for the common benefit. So if you come with Koboko and you flog some people and you don't flog some other people, this is exactly the corruption which you cannot review when a dictator exercises it. So he may flog your opponent today, but he will flog you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the Yoruba say that Bashantof in your yali.
Is that what he says? Or
whatever.
Yes. It depends on what side of Yoruba land you're from. Are you from Lagos?
Yes.
But you're not. I'm from Isaleko. You're from.
I'm from Isaleko. I told my father from Ologbo.
Yeah. Ologbo is not Isaleko.
No, okay, that's that. Ojo Olobun. Ojo Ago Shofin. Itakoni.
Yes. Itakoni? Okay. I need to take you through some Yoruba classes.
Yes, one of my uncles offered that, but I'm a bit busy at this time.
Doing what? Playing golf. Let's pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Lester. I'm calling from Kodo.
Yes, can you put the phone to your mouth? I seem to be getting in some kind of echo.
Okay, my name is Lester. I'm calling from Kodo. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear, madam.
Okay, yesterday I had let's say two major concerns. When Sheriff was calling the number of results that have dropped, he said Isale 1. That was my own word. And then there were like 5 polling units there. He now said that in those polling units, none of the results have dropped. But at the time I left, the results were completed, like concluded, and everything were done. So my reservation was, why was he not? Why is he still saying no results at the moment, even when it was concluded before 4 p.m. yesterday?
Well,
that's one. Number 2, after I left my polling unit to go to another polling unit to hear results, because the polling units were relatively really close. They were in the same estate, Ibo estate. And I left my polling unit after hearing the results. When we came back there, I went to I announced one of the officials was like that while they were counting, that they noticed so they found 2 results and then they added it to the results that have been counted initially. While we're not there, we just took it like that. But then I'm now wondering, now that they've now uploaded the results, what if they now come again and say this result something happened and then they found other result. I don't know where they are bringing, where they saw it from, because the lady was really raising it up, and then we're seeing the number of papers and then people around her. So I don't know where those results came out from, and they're not added to the number of voters. So those are my two concerns I have.
Point noted. Let me sing a song for you. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. You know, during the elections in Nigeria, you see all kinds of magic. You know, all kinds of magic results. This, that. I look forward to the day when we'll have some nice, orderly listen. By the way, yesterday afternoon, when I was on TV, I said that I think it's about time our elections were handled, you know, at the very top by a well-trained logistician. Logistics has become a science because most of the problems we had yesterday had
logistical.
to do with logistics. And that having a professor, not to run him down or anything, but their expertise is quite different. A lot of what you had, car not showing up, ballot box, you know, having no BVS machine in an empty box, all these things are logistical. And that we need to professionalize that function.
Can I say something first of all with regard to what the lady said?
Yes.
And these I would call anecdotes of the election day are interesting to hear. But this is why you have party agents. In every polling unit, there are party agents whose job is to superintend their own party's interest at that site. Every INEC has a national situation room, it has a state situation room. Every political party, this is again what is the organization of a political party, must have a national situation room, will have state situation room. I expect that these reports that we're getting anecdotally from a variety of people should be made often with photographic evidence by the agent at each polling unit. If I was running the campaign for ADC or NPM or whatever spaghetti soup name we have right now, I would have information as to what happened in every polling unit in which I had an agent, because you're paying these agents. At the end of the election, the results sheet, I expect them to have taken a photograph on their phone and sent it to me. So I should be able to tell you today, from 176,000 polling units, what was the result at each unit. 176,000 is not a lot of units.
No, it's not. It's not. But the truth, again, what you call the Nigerian factor.
Yes.
How loyal is your agent to you?
Well, that's your responsibility. And how loyal is your driver, your house girl,
anybody?
Some things are better whispered. There's no art to tell the construction of a man's mind on his face. And the second question about logistics, the fact is that running an election in any place is a logistical challenge of a monumental scale, especially in a place like Nigeria. And the purpose of the head of an organization is to give it integrity and direction. But the logistics of elections is a specific skill which can be contracted. But then you have the problem, you say we want to move electoral materials around Lagos, and somebody says it's been moved by MC Oluoma. I don't know whether that is the case, but the fact is somebody has to move it. And you have to contemplate in advance that who is the most efficient. If the most efficient is the person who you have doubts about, how do I mitigate the doubt and the risk that he may dissipate those election materials?
I need to explain why I thought that the chairman should be a professional. This is a hands-on country. To delegate in this country, especially in public service, is a big task. So maybe we should even privatize it. Give it to some professional, well-run professional.
The fact is, if there are logistics companies that operate in Nigeria that work in the construction industry and the oil industry, there are people who have made millions of dollars out of producing small engineering, collecting a small engineering part from Germany and bringing it to Bonny.
Yes.
Or bringing food or bringing wine. There are people who operate in this country. Most of these companies which appear are largely owned by, any valuable commodity. And they can deliver it with pinpoint precision.
Yes.
I know some of these companies. So the fact is that the capacity exists. If you want to contract that out, you will design a contract which is accountable in the public interest sense and in the commercial sense, and you will make sure that they're held to major financial penalties if they don't deliver as they've prescribed. DHL could do it, but there are many companies that do logistics. Much of Nigerian commerce is operated on private logistics.
You just run a commercial now.
So I honestly I regret I didn't intend mentioning any. I was just throwing as a sample of courier companies.
I wanted to see your face. Look at the face.
Yes, all of a sudden it just struck me. But yes, so we won't repeat that again.
We won't repeat that again. But it's true because and then we need to probe these things. After every election, we need to dissect it down to the wire.
Yes.
For example, okay, so these things couldn't upload. Which communications company was given that responsibility? What's their background?
And
how efficient are they?
And they should pay a heavy cost.
They should pay heavy costs because
Yes.
what we are told is that the Beavers machine can work on 2G. Okay, so now you have companies that have 5G.
Yes.
So have you contracted them?
Yes.
Who is behind? But you know that our public service is in tatters.
Yeah, 1,000 times the logistical train from INEC headquarters to the voter should have been run on models.
Yes.
They should have been able to, the INEC chairman should have been able to tell you at any given time to get this stuff to Oshobo in 24 hours. These are the exact buttons I must press.
And it's good to go.
Because they know the map of the country. They've run elections before. They should be able to, this is not rocket science. So it's a matter of efficiency, commitment, and professionalism. Sometimes the necessary skill is subverted by political, personal considerations. Your auntie is the one who's now selling a recharge card, so you want to give her the contract whether she can do it or not. That is a problem. The procurement process must be geared only to the efficient delivery of the product.
That company that you mentioned that you're going to pay for it said they're looking for a chief marketing officer. They want to know if you're game. Okay, let me take.
Let their name remain unknown.
Yes.
I dimension them.
Hello. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I was calling concerning the last caller.
That's the last. No, you're calling. So knock off the call, please. When you call, don't call from a kitchen or a toilet. You're tiled up. You get an echo, and then we can hardly hear you well. And then, don't use the speaker phone. Always put the phone to your mouth. Okay. So I'm sorry I had to knock your call. I wasn't hearing what you were saying. Anyway. Hello. Yes. Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, my lord. Permit me to use that word to you.
You're not a lord. Yeah, don't put him into trouble.
I'm not even a chief.
They're giving him they're giving him what you call sorry, I can't remember the name of it again. Anyway, Uncle Jimmy, my problem is that why should some certain area in Lagos have the delay of INEC official to 3 o'clock in a more talking in first stack in Ababa at this time?
Yes.
So how did the INEC prepare for the election?
Okay.
Then number 2, please. The security they're talking about, they were nowhere to be found. And now, they don't used to prosecute anything about election laws.
Okay, the point is not.
Thank you.
I don't know what excuse you'd give for a place like Amuwo Odofin. I mean, that's right bang in the middle of town. And it's part of what we're saying.
It's logistics.
The
INEC
you don't think there was any? You don't think that there was some tampering?
Well, let's start from what needs to be done.
Okay.
I need to get 100 boxes of ballot papers to Amuwo Odofin by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Someone will be able to tell me where those boxes need to be at 6 a.m. to get there on time. So you must have staging points for a logistical operation. You can't bring them from Abuja overnight. You have to now say, right, so therefore they're going to be kept in for example, the central bank. Of course, the central bank was compromised by the political interventions of the governor, so it became a suspicious vehicle for that purpose. But if you keep it in the central bank, for example, you will say that at 5 a.m., the central bank will move out those to the local government headquarters under armed guard. So, and you should be able to monitor this on a computer. Now,
exactly.
the materials moving, if you ask the INEC chairman, where are the materials for Amuwo Odofin at 6 a.m., he should be able to click, like you're doing if you're tracking any courier company.
Yes.
You can track your package.
Yes.
it's very simple. I can do it. So why can't they do it? So because the solution is quite within our reach, you must then wonder, why hasn't it been done? I can't describe motive since I don't know who we're investigating. But in some parts of Lekki, lecture materials, there's some parts of Lekki or even Ikoyi where polling units on opposite sides of the same road didn't have electoral officers at the same time. Some the electoral officer arrived at 8 and some the electoral officer arrived at 10. There again is a collapse of responsibility by individuals, and that's because they're not accountable to their own hierarchy.
So bottom line is we must have some accountability
Absolutely.
in this exercise.
For efficient public administration, heads have to roll.
But they never do.
Well, this is the problem.
So Yemi will be back on Friday. Friday or Saturday, I'll confirm.
I look forward.
You look forward to it. When we would...
There'll be a Kara next time, I guess.
Are you sure? Are you bringing it from... I'll run a free commercial for you if you say yes.
I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, Yemi Candide-Johnson will be back here. I'll be back. I don't know if I want to come in on Tuesday. I'll most likely be back on Wednesday. I'm a bit tired, with the heat and all the activity. But I did Dagwa, so I need to cool down a little bit. So I'll be back here most likely on Wednesday, okay? And I'm feeling a bit whatever. And that will be Diabumi Day. But I'll be back at 7:30 though, with not with Sheriff, but I think with Marian, because Sheriff might be going on a holiday. So that's what it's going to be. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I can never, and my regards to your lovely wife. I keep dragging you out on Saturdays and Sundays.
Certainly.
Where you should be under the duvet. Feta, thank you very much. Glad you could get here. Is cash any better now in town? I don't have cash. Whatever you say, I don't have cash. So. All right. We have someone else coming in anytime from now, so don't go away. This is going to run all the way till 4 o'clock. See you next week. Bye.